meeting today is word problem involving linear equation. Now, mastering word problem involving linear equation allows you to identify the unknown, establish the variables, and turning or translating text into mathematical equation. How do we go about this? If you could remember your childhood time, there is a mind game that we do play. For example, now I think of a number, I add it to 5, it gives me 7. Now what's the number? Now, this is just an example of what word problem involving linear equation. We are turning this text mathematically. Now, you see that what? A certain number is added to 4. A certain number, an unknown number, we don't know the number. We are asked to look for the number. A certain number is added to 4. The result gives 8. What is the number? Now, the first thing you are going to do is that you are going to represent a letter or a variable with this what? With this number. And I told you that a variable, we have A to Z. There's only one variable you can't use, which is what? Which is letter O. But other variables you can use it. So we are representing the variable with what? With the certain number or an unknown number. You ask that what? Let's use y. Let y be the certain number. Now, we have already used y to represent the certain number. Look at the question. A certain number is added to 4. That is plus. We are adding this y to 4 because we have already used y as a certain number already. So that's what y plus 4, because what? A certain number is added to 4. Now, the result. This result in what? In what problem is talking about equals to. Now, a certain number is added to 4, which is what? Y plus 4. The result gives 8. That is what? Equals to 8. Equals to 8. What is the number? They are asking you to find the number. Now, look at it. We have already turned this text into what? Mathematical equation. What we are going to do here is that we are collecting like terms. So we have what? Y equals to 8 minus 4. Then y is equals to 4. This is your answer. The second question. Now look at this. I think of a number, multiply it by 5 and add 15. The result is 100. What is the number? Very, very simple. The first thing I'm going to do is that you are going to what? Make a letter to what? The number. Because we don't know the number. You understand? Now, you can let's say that what? Let x be the number. Now, since we have already used x to represent the number, now I think of a number, I multiply it by 5. I think of a number, multiply it by 5. So it has what? X times 5, because we are multiplying it by 5. Now x times 5 will give us 5x. Now, since I multiplied it by 5 and add 15, so it has what? 5x plus 15. The result is 100, which is equals to 100. Now you can see we have already what? Turned this text mathematical what? Equation. Now since we have what? 5x plus 15 equals to 100, we can now go ahead by solving. Now we now have what? 5x equals to 100 minus what? Minus 15. We have what? 5x equals to 100 minus 15. Now 5x is equals to 85. What I'm going to do here is that you are going to divide both sides by the coefficient of x. Now you have what? Over 5 over 5. Your 5 cancel this 5. Now your 5, how many 5 can we see in 8? It is what? 1. Remember what? 3. How many 5 can we see in 35 is what? 7. So it's telling us that 5 in what? 85 will give us what? 17. Therefore, your x is equals to 17. Now, look at the third question. It says that what? the sum of two numbers is 25. One of the number exceeds the other by 9. Find the number. Now how do we go about this? You see that what? One of the number exceeds the other by 9. For example now, let's say we have two numbers which are 2 and 3, and 3 exceeds 2 by 9. So tell us that we are going to increase 3 by 9. We are adding them together. So tell us that the first number is 2. While the second number will not be what 3 plus 9, which should give us 12. So the two numbers are what? Are 2 and 12, because of what? 3 exceeds 2 by 9. Now, it's very simple with this. We don't know the number. We are asked to find the two numbers, but one of the number exceeds the other by 9. Now, let's use what letter to represent this number. Let's use M. Now, so let M be the number. Now, since we already use M to represent the number, so the first number will be what? Will be M. But what will be the second number? Remember that one of the number exceeds the other by 9. Since the first number is M, so the second number will now be equal to what? M plus N, because we don't know the number. And since you are adding it by 9, so that's why you have what? M plus 9. Now, the sum of the two numbers is 25. So this sum, these two numbers will now be what? Equals to 25. So we now have what? M, which is the what? First number, then plus M plus 9 equals to 25. That's it. The place we are able to translate this text into a mathematical equation. Look at it. Say the sum of the two numbers is 25. We don't know the number. The first number is what? Is M. Let M be the number. Now, one of the number exceeds the other by 9. Now, M plus what? 9. Exceed. You are increasing it by 9. Now, then, we all know that the sum of the two numbers is equal to 25. That is the sum. We are adding those numbers together. So, it's not what? M plus 9 equals to 25. M plus M will give us what? 2M. Then we have 2M plus 9 equals to what? 25. We are going to collect like times. So we have what? 2M equals to 25 minus 9. Now 2M, 25 minus 9 will give us what? 16. From here we are dividing both sides by the coefficient of M. And you know that the coefficient of M is what? Is 2. So we have over 2 over 2. These 2 eliminate these 2. 2 here 1, 2 is 16 will give us what? 8. Now M is equal to 8. Now we say that what? Two numbers. They say find the number. Now the first number is what? Is equals to 8. But they say that what? One of the number exceeds the other by 9. And we know that the second number is equals to what? M plus 9. Is equals to M plus 9. But our M, we already find the number, is equals to what? 8. So now be equals to 8 plus 9. Which will give us what? 17. Now, therefore, the numbers are 8 and 17. Very, very simple. Now, we have number 4. You see that what? The length of a rectangle is twice its breadth. If the perimeter is 72 meters, find the length and the breadth of a rectangle. You can see that we are introduced to the perimeter of a rectangle, and you must know that the perimeter of a rectangle is equal to what? 2 into bracket length plus breadth. Firstly, we have our rectangle. Don't mind my drawing. Let's say these are what? These are the rectangle. This is your length. This is your what? This is your breadth. You see that what? The length of a rectangle is twice its breadth. We don't know the breadth. You know, for us to get length, we have to look for the breadth in this question. Because now, the length of a rectangle is twice its breadth. Let's use letter to represent its breadth. Let y be the what? Breadth. Let y be the breadth. Now, if your breadth is equal to y, so your length will now be equal to, see, you say that the length of a rectangle is twice its breadth. Your length will now be equal to what? 2 times y, which will give us what? 2y. So you have your breadth as what? Y meter, while your length as what? 2y what? 2y meter. Now, if the perimeter is what 72 meter, we say that the perimeter of a rectangle is equals to 2 into bracket length plus breadth. Now, our perimeter is what 72 meter. Find the length and the breadth of the rectangle. So we have perimeter as what 72. So now what? 72 into equals to what? 2 into bracket. Your length is 2y plus y. Your breadth is what? Is y. Then you have what? 72 equals to what? 2 into bracket 3y. From here, you can see 72 is equals to what? 2 into bracket 3y. You can use this 2 here to what? To divide 72. So now what? 2 here 1. 2 in 7, it will give you what? 3, remainder 1. In 12, you will give you what? 6. Then you have what? 36 equals to what? Equals to 3y. Then you are going to divide both sides. 36 is equals to 3y. It's still the same thing as you saying that what? 3y is equals to 36. Now you have what? Over 3 over 3. 3 cancel what? 3. 3 here 1. 3 in 36 will give us what? Will give us 12. Then you have your what? Your y as what? 12. Now you can see that your y is for breadth. You are using y to what? To represent the breadth since you don't know the breadth. So you have what? Your breadth as what? As 12 meter. But see that what? The length of the rectangle is twice. 2 times your what? 2 times your breadth. Now if your breadth is what? 12 what? Meter, then your length will now be equal to what? 2 times 12, which will give us what? 24 what? Meter. Therefore, you have your what? Your breadth as what? 12 meter, while your length as what? 24 what? Meter. Very, very simple. Now, number 5 says a number is divided into 2 parts such that one part is more than the other. If 2 parts are in ratio 5:3, find the number and the 2 parts. We are asked to look for 2 things. Is that what? The number and the 2 parts. Now look at the question. A number is divided into what? 2 parts. Now we have 2 parts. It is divided into what? 2 parts. It means we are introduced to fraction, the numerator, the denominator. It's telling us that one part will be at the numerator part, while the second part will be at the denominator part. Now, such that one part is 10 more than the other. It means you are increasing it by 10. You are adding 10 to it, to the number. Now, but we don't know the number. And now, say that what? If the 2 parts are in the ratio 5:3. Now, ratio can also be what? Called division, because we are sharing, we are dividing. Ratio can also be used as what? Division. So this 5:3 is still means what? 5 divided by what? 3. Now, find the number and what? And the 2 parts. Since we don't know the number, let A be the number. Now, this A should be the what? Should be the part of the number. One part of the number, then other part. Since the other part is now what? Is now 10 more than the other. You can see. So, since the first part is what? Is A, then the other part will now be what? A plus 10. You have your 8 plus 10. Now, if the 2 parts are in ratio, their ratio is equal to what? 5:3. Find the what? Number and what? And the 2 parts. Remember that I said that what? The number is divided into 2 parts. Now, we now have what? A plus 10 over A equals to what? 5:3, because this is their ratio. The result gives us their what? Their ratio. Now, we now have what? A plus 10 over A equals to 5/3. I think that this ratio can also be used as a division. Now, we now have what? 5/3. Now, the question is, why is that we didn't put A up and put what? A plus 10 down? The reason is that this ratio, this 5, it means that it has more share than this one, than this 3. I say that what? This A is the other number, because it is what? 10 times, it is what? 10 more than what? the number. So we now have what a plus 10, it will be for 5, while this a will be for 3, because this has the larger number. So since we have what a plus 10 over a equals to what 5 over 3, we are going to what will cross multiply. So we now have what 3 into bracket a plus 10, that is 3 times all this here equals to what 5 times 8, that is 8 times 5. So we are using this 3 to multiply everything into this bracket. So we now have what 3 times a will give us 3a plus 3 times 10 will give us 30 equals to 5 times a will give us 5a. Now what we are going to do is that we are connecting like terms. This 3 we have to go and meet 5a. So we now have what 30 equals to 5a minus 3a. Then we have what 30 equals to, you have your 2a. We are dividing both sides by the coefficient of what of a. Coefficient of a is 2. Then we have over 2 over 2. These 2 eliminate these 2 here. Now 2 here 1, 2 in 30 will give us what 15. Then your a is equals to what is equals to 15. Now you can see we are already do for one part of what of the number which is equals to 15. Now the second part is what, or the other part is a plus 10. Other part is equals to a plus 10. So it's not what 15 plus 10, which will give us what equals to what 25. Now instead of what find the number and the two parts. The two parts are what 15 and what 25. Now how do we find the number? It means we are going to what add this, the first part and the other part together. So it's not what the number will now be equals to what 15 plus 25, which will give us 40. So the number is 40 while the two parts are what 15 and 25. Very simple. Now look at number 6 question. It says that the difference in the measures of two complementary angles is 12. Find the measure of the angles. The difference, what do we mean by difference? Difference means subtraction, it means minus. You are finding the difference of what of numbers. Now I say that what in the measures of two complementary angles. What do we mean by complementary angles? Complementary angles are angles in which two angles sum up to give what 90 degrees. Now look at it. For example, now this is an example of complementary angle. Let's say you have an angle like this, A O B. You can see two angles sum up to what give 90 degrees. You all know that from this point here to this point is your 90 degrees. Let's say that one angle here is what? Let me use 40 degrees, and you're asked to find this what other angle here. The first angle here is what 40 degrees. How do you find this what other angle? It means you are subtracting it from what? From 90 degrees. You are subtracting this 40 from 90, so you can be able to what, get your other angle. So now what 90 minus 40, that's 90 degrees, minus 40 degrees will give us what? Will give us what? 50 degrees. So tell us that this angle here is what? 50 degrees. So if you look at it, 40 plus 50 will give us what? 90. So now I say that what? Complementary angles are angles in which two angles sum up to give 90 what degree. Now I say that what? The difference in the measures of the two complementary angles is what? Is 12. Find the measure of the angles. We don't know the angles. Let's use letter to represent the angle. So now let N be the angles. Now two complementary angles. Since N is what? Is already the what? Is already the first angle. Now let's look for the complement of N. Complement of N will now be equal to what? 90 what? 90 minus n. Remember I said what? Complementary angles are angles in which two angles sum up to what? Give what? 90 degrees. Now this is the what? First complementary angle. We don't know it. We don't know the first angle. So for us to be able to get the second angle, we have what? 90 minus n. Like this now. we know this angle, but for us to get this for second angle, we say that what 90 minus 40, but this we don't know the angle is what n. So the second angle will now be what 90 minus n. Now it gives us what their difference is what is 12. How do we go about that? Since we are dealing about what difference, which is minus, so it's now what 90 minus n equals to what 12. You can see of two complementary angles is what is 12. It is equals to 12. Now let's go on with solving. So now what 90 minus n equals to 12. Then 90 minus n will give us what minus 2n equals to 12. Let's collect like terms. So let's 12 come to 90 while this go to the other side. So now what 90 minus 12 equals to what 2n. 90 minus 12 will give us 78. Then we have what equals to what 2n. We are dividing both sides by the coefficient of what n, and the coefficient of n is 2. So we have what over 2. These two eliminate these two here. Now how many 2 can you see in 7? It is what still. So the remainder what 1. In 18 will give us what will give us 9. So n is equals to what 39. Now you can see he said that what let n be the angles. Now we have already looked for n, so it means that this 39 is one of the what complementary angle. So 39 was degree, and the second one is what 90 minus n. So second angle is equals to what 90 minus n. So 90, our n is equal to what 39 degree. So n will now be equals to what 90 minus 39 will give us 51 what degree. You can see. So it's telling us that our complementary angles are what the 39 degree and what 51 degree. If you sum them up, 39 plus 51, it will still give us what 90 degree. So these are what the measure of the angles. It is very simple. Thank you so much. Make sure that you subscribe to my YouTube channel and watch more videos so you are going to understand. Thank you.